Okay. Hello, everyone. Daffy just made coffee with cold water. Ah. Was that like an accident? Like you forgot to boil the water? This is the Egyptian Star Oracle deck by Travis McHenry. The same person who made the Angel Tarot deck. It's a really long box, but the deck isn't as long. It's half the box. Nicest Oracle deck. Cool. Oh yay! Congratulations on setting up your PC. Is that your first one, Luca? Daphne has a priority Angel Oracle pull. Am I to assume it's this deck that you would like one from? Yes. Thank you for the follow, Luna. Beep boop, speed dialing. Alright, here's the challenge today, everyone. I have a blood test tomorrow, and the last time I went for the blood test, I had to go twice because I didn't drink enough water and they couldn't take my blood. So feel free to use your channel points to claim the hydrate so that my blood is hydrated. From Raphael to Daphne, let's see. This card says, use your natural healing abilities. And there's this person here holding a little doggy in his hands. Alright, free hydrates. This is my new rainbow cup. I got it as a gift when I was part of a panel for a queer event and they gave me this. So I have this and also have my usual water bottle, which is filled up. I'm doing a big hydrate out of this cup. And when you have spiced orange tea. Only orange stuff you can drink without reacting. Oh wow. Everyone's talking about their drinks today. Well, I don't think Luca's drinking their PC. But yes, Steph, you make your good coffee. Luna has coffee as well. Thank you so much for resubscribing, Daph. For 5 months in a row. Yippee! Since you subscribed, you can queue twice today, which I'm very bad at telling people that or tracking that, but you can queue twice. After I've done your first reading, you can queue again. Because subscribing is sort of like a donation. Alright. So, Omen, you would like a priority Egyptian Star Oracle pull. Yes, you should queue once first. Oh, that was quick. Your card is Care and Nurturing, which is a very nice card. Readings on my streams are free, and you can get one by doing the join command. If you donate to my Ko-fi any amount, I believe the minimum is $3, then you get priority, which is going first in the queue if you're not already first, or you get a second reading in the same stream, as usually it's one reading per person. And anyone interested in my paid readings, they can go to my Ko-fi, so ko-fi.com/crossroadstarot, or also my Etsy shop, which is Crossroads of Tarot as well. And those are done off stream, usually written down. But if you wanted, you can request like a video or like a voice recording if you prefer that. But typically they're written down in a PDF document, which I can email to you or send to you on Discord or both, if you like that. Yeah. All right, let me get my queue up. So Itzy's first. Let me know what reading you'd like and if you have a deck preference. Sorry, I was adjusting my camera. A general message from anyone in particular? Arachne. Okay, sure. And do you want me to just use any deck? Alright, we'll go with our classic. Well, not so classic, but our stream classic. D&D Tarot. The classic is right away, but we'll do this one instead. Alright. This cause there's like a fancy slide on my arm. Oh, there we go. How polite of them to all be in the same spot. Alright, so we have the Ace of Strength. The Knight of Strength. This was actually the third card, so we'll do that one. And the Four of Charisma. I was actually half expecting the Eight of Intelligence to come up, because in Eight of Intelligence there's a guy like wrapped in webs hanging upside down, and that's meant to represent the Eight of Swords, which I guess wouldn't be as great to get in a reading, but it would remind me of her very much. So I like these cards though. The Ace of Strength is equivalent to the Ace of Wands, and it can represent a new opportunity or passion projects or, you know, period of growth for you. And it actually has sort of like web-like qualities anyway with the streaming color, I guess like magic or magical force like going around this person here. And it's really coming through the idea that you've sort of trained towards something, or maybe studied something, or you were sort of told previously, okay, look a bit more into this first and then get into it. And you're sort of reaching that point now where you've done a bit of that work and you're able to move forward in this project that's going to be really good and really aligning with your interests and values that have you following Arachne. Four of Charisma can be interpreted in a few different ways, as with a lot of different tarot cards, but I think in this sense, there is this sense of, I'm going to say possessiveness, but it's not like in a really bad way. It's sort of protecting your own kind or protecting what's yours. And it's sort of her reminder about how she feels very protective over you. And, you know, just like spiders tend to be, they can be very protective of their area. And, you know, because they work really hard to make their webs and stuff. And, you know, personally, I'm very scared of spiders. I do have a phobia of them, but I can still acknowledge and respect them, like the spiders, and how Arachne, you know, represents them as well, and has those qualities of, you know, putting a lot of effort into the masterpiece that a web is, and that home and that way of being fed, and, you know, that cycle of life is very similar to how this dragon here is, you know, holding his space and guarding his treasure. So it's like putting a lot of work into something and guarding it. And yeah, in that way, she feels that she, you know, in a positive, very positive sense, puts a lot of work and investment into you, and then feels the protectiveness over you. So, Knight of Strength. You've got 2 strength cards, so that's matching. Knight of Wands here. Though, for this card in particular, I like looking at the imagery, which is this knight here going towards Mike Wazowski looking guy. And, you know, going in for the stab. And I kind of like that in terms of like the knight, which is around movement and taking a step and going forward. It's sort of like it's time to make the move, to take the stab, to like attack or go forward without fear, and like, yeah, go forward without fear and approach it and run at it and stab at it, and not be afraid that you're going to get eaten or attacked because you have the upper hand. And this movement will be good. It makes a very suitable journey, actually, between the Ace of Strength and the Knight of Strength. I can see, like, you know, we don't have the Page of Strength here present. So it, like, you know, linking these together, it sort of tells me that, or affirms to me, yeah, you have done that preparation already previously. Time to take the stab at it rather than waiting around for it. She's calling me out. I have an issue not facing things without fear, but she's got a lot of very good points. Yeah. That's what she's trying to communicate with to you today through this reading. You're welcome. It was very nice. I liked the way that she like put that sort of like story together. Alright, let's open the queue. We have Luca next. Let me know what you'd like a reading on, if you have a deck preference, etc., all the usual details. I knew that you were gonna make me spin the deity wheel. And before you send that message, Hecate said, if they spin the deity wheel, then I'll do it. So, I just scratched the box. Didn't like that. Okay, let me put these cards down. It's really cool that Melinoe is on your team now. Alright, let's get her deck here. If we had like badges for like, I could like make badges to assign to people, you'd have a deity wheel badge. I just realized my cup's kind of in the way of that caption. There we go. Less in the way. I pulled almost exactly these cards earlier. Not for myself, but when I was shuffling. Alright, so Luca, you have the Queen of Pentacles as your first card. Your second card is the King of Swords. Trying to like not glare it so much when trying to show you. And also the Sun. Yay! Yes, this is the Ethereal Visions Tarot deck by Matt Hughes. This is one of the decks that are dedicated to Hecate. Alright, so Luca, this reading is actually really cool. I like this one because it's very affirming of what you're doing at the moment. That's the sort of angle of the message here. And I like this presence here of like the king and queen in these two different suits or elements. And in a way they're telling, or Hecate is using them to tell you what are the things that you're finding a lot of strength in at the moment. A lot of things, or finding a lot of like development, growth, strength, and you can essentially use or wield going forward on your path. So Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles is usually associated with, you know, material, money, finances, study, career, things like that. I think for one, she is definitely giving you the thumbs up in terms of your study choices and that you are, you know, being able to provide for yourself and take care of yourself in this way. And you're listening to yourself in where you want to be and how, like what you want to do. And she can really appreciate that out of what you are working on at the moment. And she thinks it's a really strong quality in terms of your ability to be very attentive to yourself and also to those around you who may have a similar journey to what you have in that regard. There's also this sense of you being good at using the materials that you have, so being very resourceful as well. King of Swords. Swords is associated with matters of the mind, communication, truth, and things like air as well. King of Swords can refer to how you may have like a lot of authority over the words you're using, what you're saying, how you are using speech communication. Also exercising your wisdom. Not only things like intelligence, but wisdom, which, you know, have some differences between wisdom and intelligence in terms of how intelligence can be applied, or even where you may obtain wisdom from, and if you trust the sources, even if you don't know them, of where you obtain this wisdom from. Basically like trusting your intuition in a way. Yeah, she's saying you have a good grasp at the moment over the way that you're communicating and the way that you are being honest with yourself and with others too. It ties in, I think it ties very closely to this Queen of Pentacles here, where both of these elements of what you're doing play into each other very well. and one comes with the other. So that's why there may be like that sort of overlap in terms of, yeah, her sort of pointing out this theme of you being able to, you know, listen to yourself and then take action based off that, right? The Sun, card of joy and happiness, inner child, all those good things. It's just like good feelings. I like the Sun here because there just feels like this really strong sense of approval and like warmth when it comes to this reading and how she is regarding you. I think she's also very pleased with your inclusion of Melinoe. As for those who don't know, Melinoe tends to be associated with Hecate, particularly because she is regarded as a deity who's also an epithet of Hecate's, and so it's sort of like she might sometimes be Hecate, like part of Hecate, and also be like apart, like as a separate goddess. So I think there are like some strong associations there. Yeah, the Sun is a super nice approval card and sense of affirmation. Yeah. There's your message for today, Luca. You're welcome. You've got that shining approval, which is always very nice to get from her. Alright, next up. Whatever deck feels right. Okay. We'll be using the Messenger Oracle by Raven Phelan, 2nd edition. I've been a lot happier with changing my major, so cool to kind of hear that from her. Oh yay, that's great. Yeah, it's very much like supporting that very feeling, like the fact that you know made that change and that you're happy about it. She wants you to know that she's happy about it too, which is nice. It's sort of like not solidifying, reinforcing your decision. Also, for anyone here that's in the Sanctuary of the Crossroads, feel free to check out the events channel and events tab. We have so many events this month, and you can RSVP to let us know that you're coming along or intend to. We don't hold it very close, like we don't say, I can't believe you didn't come if you RSVP and didn't come, but it can help as well for notifications. You can also assign roles to be notified of these events in the roles channel. There's separate ones. So, for example, you can not have the events role that is pinged like for every event, but just one of the roles. So that's why we kind of tag both roles each time for those who have the events role altogether, but also some who may not have the events role, but the specific ones. And I've listed them all out in the events channel for you to have a look at. We do have Cledus Agogi, the procession of the Key Festival that we do twice a year. It's our week-long festival. So it'd be great to see you at some of those activities as well. And Elle is doing a 2-part lesson on warding, which is really cool. Alright, let's get back into this reading. Thank you. I think so as well. Alright, so I see 3 cards in front of me that are very connected. We have See the Truth with the owl, which we've seen a few times. And this is connected to these other 2 cards here, because there's a situation that Aphrodite is talking about today, where perhaps you are aware of the truth, but you sort of need to allow yourself to believe in it more or value it more. So particularly value it, because there are sometimes situations where we know a sense of truth to something, but we deny it or devalue it or think it's not important enough. This card in particular is saying not only to see the truth, but to value the truth. Because our next 2 cards here are Let Your Emotions Flow and Respect Your Boundaries. So there must be a situation happening at the moment, perhaps related to love and romance, maybe not. I'm sure, I hope that there may be a situation that comes to mind when she is talking about this, because she thinks that you're not allowing yourself to sort of indulge in or engage with these emotions enough. Sometimes we become numb or a bit distant or try to shield ourselves off from feeling anything associated with a situation because we think, oh, well, this is like not the right thing to do, or am I being too much, or am I allowed to do this? And she's saying letting yourself experience your emotions and letting them flow is your way of knowing what's important to you and what to do in a situation. Because when you let your emotions flow, you are able to identify the points that you want to change, that you may not want to compromise on, that you may want to build some boundaries around. But yeah, that's something that she's pointing out is really important. And of course, respect your boundaries. So, let me read your message. I know what she's talking about. It's about a situation with a friend. Oh, yes. Well, there we go. She's being very... Yeah, she's saying you got to respect your boundaries. And when it comes to boundaries, you not tolerating people pushing your boundaries. So being intolerant of people pushing your boundaries or breaking your boundaries is good. But if you allow others to push your boundaries, then you yourself are not respecting your boundaries, which is something I've said before on this stream. I don't know if specifically to you, but I have before that respecting your boundaries is not only about having other people respect your boundaries, it's having yourself respect your boundaries and knowing when to reinforce them. So I think she's definitely wanting you to make some moves in that situation, and perhaps she'd be good to petition for assistance in that matter as well. Hey Sizer, welcome to the stream. I don't know if I've ever thought about doing an ASMR channel, Luna. I see some on TikTok sometimes. They have like all these things they do, and yeah, I wouldn't do that, but maybe I should do like ASMR mythology reading or ASMR hymn reading out the like Homeric hymns into my microphone. You're welcome. You should definitely do that. And I hope that things work out for that situation, because it's not an easy one to be in. Spiritual ASMRs where they offer energy work for collectives. Oh, that's cool. I've recently been learning a lot more about energy work and energy healing. Alright, Daphne, it's your turn. Let me know all the details of what you're after today. Alright. Check-in/advice for this week from Hades. Okay, interesting cards. 10 of Strength. 10 of Intelligence. And the Tower. So, sounds like there's a lot happening for you this week. And perhaps some endings coming around, considering we have 2 10s and a Tower. I'm just going to shuffle these as I speak. Alright, so the 10 of Strength and the 10 of Intelligence are equivalent to the 10 of Wands and 10 of Swords. So likely in relation to carrying a lot or experiencing a lot. So it's sort of like, feels like you're being hit from all sides, is how it's coming through. But he does have advice. This isn't just him saying, oh yeah, there's a lot going on, or you're going to be like punched down or hit a lot, or there's going to be so much that comes to harm. Like it's not to do with that. I think part of these selection of cards is him emphasizing the importance of being aware of what's happening around you this week. So not just going through the flow or saying, oh, let me just try to get through this week, or let me just try to get to the weekend, or let's go to next week. Sorry, someone knocked on my door and I got distracted. Line of thoughts. Let me think. Yeah, it's not just about going through trying to get through to the end. He's calling attention to the idea of making sure you're attentive and staying aware of what's happening around you. It's not supposed to... It can feel like the end of the world, but it's not supposed to be. He's wanting you to know. There's an element of comfort here where he's bringing it up to you because he wants you to be prepared for things. He says preparation over paranoia. There's also something he brought up when I pulled the Ten of Intelligence, where it was this concept of when you're seeking to heal or move